Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to the first video on the channel. I'm currently sitting here just looking at what's going on and how not many people are talking about it in the real way. I feel like so many people are just ignoring what's going on, and if they're not ignoring it, they're just spinning it their way for pro Democrat or pro Republican, but this shit is so much bigger than fucking politics. We've got a fucking child sex ring going on with all of our elites, and in my opinion, I'm saying that now, I'm not suicidal, but I think our president's in on it. And so are a lot of other people, including the other president, Bill Clinton. But I'm just going to be talking about, whatever's on my mind, and with a little bit of Deadlock in the background, because I've been loving this game lately. It's so fucking fun. But anyway, between the Operation Epic Fury, which in my opinion is also just kind of we're doing our bidding for Israel, and there's been a lot of speculation on whether Jeffrey Epstein was an Israeli informant, so it would make sense that Trump's underneath his wing. But anyway, we're gonna just talk about first we're just gonna talk about the Bill and Hillary Clinton depositions, because they just got subpoenaed and had to talk in front of a bunch of people, and there were some good questions, but overall I feel like it was kind of just a distraction, low-key.
When you saw photos of your husband in a hot tub laying on a beach and getting massaged by other women, and you knew that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in some of these trips and these things, did it concern you at all?
I'm here not to offer my opinions. I'm here to answer specific questions to the best of my ability.
When you saw your husband in these photos with young women being massaged, what went through your mind?
I am not going to speculate.
You didn't have any feelings about young women massaging your husband?
I am not going to offer opinions or speculation about anything that I have no context for and was not there.
No context for, huh? I don't think that you really need much context whenever the woman that's giving Bill Clinton the massage is the one who's bringing allegations against him for, I'll just say, sexual deviancy. It's not looking too good for Bill Clinton. I don't know. I guess Hillary is trying to protect her husband, but I don't know. Here's Bill Clinton.
Remember this photo and any details you may be able to provide us about it. So do you recall the details of this photo, or recall the photo being taken?
No, I don't think I ever knew the photo was taken.
Okay, and for those who can't see it, it's a photo of you in a hot tub. There's a person next to you here. Do you remember where it was taken? Where was it taken?
I'm almost sure that this pic, and I think there's an adjacent photograph, which you probably have, that if people saw it, they would feel that someone was trying to con them showing this picture. But anyway, this picture was taken in Brunei. And we flew one night on a trip to Asia, the last very long leg.
You said we. Is it who is that including?
Well, my whole team that was working
Thank you.
on the AIDS issue, and Mr. Epstein was there, and
Okay.
Miss Maxwell. But anyway, we got to the end of the flight was Brunei. It's a tiny place, but a very wealthy one, and the Sultan of Brunei was a man that I had gotten to know well in my 8 years as president. And his first involvement with international matters was basically to join the Asian Pacific Economic Leaders Conference, which I started and which he attended. And then he was very proud of that, and he hosted, his time came to host it. You do these things in a rotation. And it came either at the very end of my term or maybe the next year. Anyway, he wanted, when he knew I was coming, and he said he wanted to help me with my AIDS initiative, and he invited me to stay there. And he said, I want you to stay at this hotel, and I hope you'll use the pool. So I did, and then I got out and went to bed, exhausted.
Just for the record, there's another picture that also shows this as part of the larger pool area. Do you all have that so that he can refresh his recollection with respect to that?
We should have it. It's quite enlightening. If you watch this,
Yes, it's noted.
it'll
Yes.
give you a different feel.
Thank you.
Okay.
We don't have it with us right now.
Okay,
We do
thanks. I just
have
wanted
it
to
as
make
well.
sure he knew the
And so
context.
were there other people in that pool or hot tub with you as well?
I don't think there's anybody in the hot tub. I didn't forgotten that there was anybody in the hot tub, but it was big, but it was about,
Well,
He's asking in the pool
it appears
area,
this photo, there's a girl over here, or there's someone.
yeah, I don't know who that is.
but he's also asking in the pool area were there other
Yes,
individuals?
I don't know who that is.
Okay, so you don't know?
No, and then there were other people in the pool.
Okay, so do you remember were they under 18? Would you
No.
know? No.
Were they part of your traveling party, he's asking you?
Yes, they were, I think. I think everybody there was part of our party. It was late at night or late-ish, and I also believe that there was a Secret Service agent there at the other end of the pool.
Okay, and was this in public?
No, it was a hotel room, and the Sultan wanted us to stay there, and the water, this big pool, was on the same floor that there were several suites, so we went out, I swam around, I sat in the hot tub for 5 minutes, or whatever it was, and I got up and went to bed.
And then I have to ask this, did you engage in any sexual activity
No.
with this person? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Now, I do have to say, this is 100% my opinion, and this is not true, it's a conspiracy. We'll put it that way. But, I just don't buy that shit. I'm not gonna lie. So, we've got Bill Clinton hanging out in the hot tub with a redacted individual. At the very end of the speech there, he talks about how everyone was part of the party that was there. This was a private room, a private pool that he was hanging out with. And he made it seem like there was a lot of people there in the pool. But whenever we look at the full pool picture, it's just him, Ghislaine Maxwell, and the redacted individual, which is kind of odd. It just makes, I'm not saying that he's lying. Everything that he said is true until we can prove it to be false, but the way that he made it out to be that there was a ton of people there, and that was just like a misleading photo of him in the hot tub with that one redacted individual. But we look at the greater scale picture, and it's just them three. And we all know that Ghislaine Maxwell is not a great person. Just from the victims talking about her, they've talked very positively about her, in the way that she is just a master manipulator, and she's very good at manipulating these girls to do what they wanted, And it's just odd that there's a redacted individual, Bill Clinton, and then Ghislaine Maxwell. That is very odd. And then we switch to the close-up picture of him in the hot tub, and it's like, what is he doing? Seriously. Let's just look at this picture for a second. This is crazy. Bill Clinton laying back like this in the pool, looks like he's getting sloppy toppy, not gonna lie. And then a redacted individual right next to him. I'm not sure about you, but I have a girlfriend, and I think I already made this point, but if that picture was leaked, she would fucking beat my ass. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, a little weird from Bill Clinton, and I'm not saying that he's lying, because we don't know, because there's no facts to prove differently. And if there are, then he can get get into a lot of trouble because he lied under oath. But there is nothing saying that he's lying. It's just very sketchy. And I think that the way that he worded this, his explanation in this is just very, I think, misleading, personally. But anyway, I'm going to get into the next deposition, which is Les Wexner, which he is the owner of, or I don't know if he's still the owner. I think that it might be a publicly traded company now, but he was the owner of Victoria's Secret during this time, and he also gave all financial rights to Jeffrey Epstein, including writing checks for him, and he has the right to trade his properties, like sell his properties, which is crazy. That's a lot of power to give someone, and definitely whenever you're as rich as Les Wexner was. But we're going to get into his deposition. There's a couple sketchy things. I don't know if you've seen them already, but we'll get into it. Here we go.
Other question, and this will be my last. You claim that you have been a victim and defrauded by Epstein, correct?
Correct.
Then why didn't you file charges, go after him? He used money to hurt girls and probably young men. Why didn't you do anything to recoup your name, which has been synonymous with Epstein? Do you know your name comes up in the emails among victims who never met you, but your name was used consistently?
I'm not sure I understand what the question to
The
him is.
question is, why didn't you file any charges against Epstein if you conned you of $200 million that we know of? Why didn't you go after him?
Well, at the time I didn't know.
But when you
And
found out, why didn't you go after him? Is it because he was a good friend?
no,
You had
my dad is probably laughing. You know,
No,
one of the
I
thing,
know.
one of the one of the things my dad told me, that you don't get a pissing contest.
I ended up pausing the video there and just cutting it off short because there's no point in trying to listen to this guy. He ends up going into an analogy about, oh, my dad says you never get into a pissing contest with an elephant. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This guy just scammed you out of $200 million. He has been using your name to recruit women for Victoria's Secret picture shoots. That's at least what he's telling people. And what the victims are believing too. And you're losing all of this money, $200 million. And you're doing nothing about it. You're just like, well, yeah, I guess we're just gonna end it there. I mean, I don't know. We're gonna end our relationship, our business relationship. Like, are you fucking serious? $200 million just gone, and you don't even do anything about it. He ends up talking about later on in the interview how he sent an email in 2008 that was, it was kind of rude to Epstein. And that was his last email that he did. And, I guess, I mean, it's pointless to even bring that up. If there are true criminal, I mean, obviously, if you get scammed out of $200 million, you can take that to court and file charges against him and sue him for your money back and reputational damage, because you're telling these women that you're doing this and you're not doing it. Like, you're not doing a Victoria's shoot. You're bringing them to the island or to these big sex parties, and for all of these higher up people, and it just doesn't add up to me at all. And you might have heard, actually, I don't think in that clip you heard his lawyer at all, but he seems very professional, and on his side, right? Well, I'm going to show you just a little clip. You might have already seen this clip. I just thought it was kind of funny.
Also had other clients. Is that right?
Yes.
So would that mean that his work for you, you understood it to be part-time?
I wouldn't describe it that way. You know, I knew it wasn't I thought it wasn't full-time because he had other clients of substance, real substance.
As a listener, it sounds like substantial demands that you're describing. You were, and of course are, one of the wealthiest people in the country, managing all of your personal affairs. I would think would typically demand all of somebody's bandwidth. It sounds like that was an issue with the guy before Epstein. How was he able to do that job, but also do work for other clients at the same time?
Well, like Peg does the work now. I think you could supervise the work, overview it, which isn't the work that I do, and say you could do really thorough work if you were doing it 3 or 4 days a month, certainly a week or a day a month, just focusing on these things because there were accountants and tax lawyers and other people. And then once in setting up, as an example, I didn't have the idea to inventory furniture or valuables. And it's like, how could you have all silverware in your house and what? And I didn't count forks and spoons. And it's like, Jeff said, people could be walking out with forks and spoons. I said, gee, that's a good idea. We ought to have an inventory. But then there was, I hired a lady to be like the house manager who had run the U.S. Embassy in Rome. And she said, yeah, I know how to do this. And I said, well, why don't we keep inventories of stuff? And she said, well, yeah, I could do that. So she did that as kind of a puny example, but I wouldn't have had the idea. But then all the things were inventoried. That wasn't work for me or Jeffrey. It was just regularly done.
Answer the question.
Okay.
That's a pretty crazy thing to say to somebody that that you're paying. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I personally believe that this guy has probably been paired with Les Wexner. I doubt that this is his personal lawyer doing this, or because there's so many people implicated in these files, and there's only been a couple people that have come and talked in front of the committee of the House Oversight Committee, and clearly this, let me say, Les Wexner was the first one before Hillary and Bill Clinton to come forward and talk to the House Oversight Committee, at least publicly on record, recorded. And I think that that's really what this comes down to, is what they want the public to see and what they want the public not to see. They are clearly trying to cover this up. I mean, it's pretty obvious seeing these depositions just how much they themselves are trying to cover up. I think that Bill and Hillary Clinton know a lot more than what they're saying. And clearly Les Wexner knows a lot more than what he's been saying. I mean, he says that he doesn't know anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, are you fucking serious? You just got conned out of $200 million and you didn't file anything? I have a feeling that that is probably because you are probably guilty of a lot worse things than losing 200 or getting scammed out of $200 billion. But anyway, thank you for coming and watching my first video. I really appreciate you guys coming here and listening. Make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. This is my first video. I hope to make it better and better with every video that I post. And yeah, thank you. Have a good one.